tell Connor Colby after the game?
I said it was a great job, and we're going to get just a little bit better every single day, and that I expect to see him at our body maintenance on Mondays and Tuesdays because he does not know how to take care of his body yet as a professional athlete.
Well, he knew how to take care of Christian McCaffrey's body on a second touchdown.
He did. Pulled him in there, didn't he? It's fantastic. That's a good Iowa guy. Just love it. Let's pull him in.
Kyle said for the first time this year he told the team before, wanted 40 runs, thought that was necessary, that would like to get there.
Mm-hmm.
What does it tell you when, he's done that before, obviously.
Yes.
But what does it tell you when he tells you guys that?
It really excites me because when I feel like when our run game is going and we're rushing the ball for more than 30 times, you get close to 40, that means you're owning the time of possession, meaning that you're not letting their explosive players on the other side of the ball get the ball. If we can do our best job to not let number 7, who's a fantastic football player, get a ton of touches, that's good football for us. And so when we just it kind of gives you that mindset that we're going to hit people in the face as hard as we possibly can and give Christian McCaffrey and Robinson as many carries as we can give them and just run through a person's face is the polite way I'd say that. It's a good mindset to go into an NFL game.
We're seeing Christian both, up close playing with him and then observing him while you were out. What can you say about the kind of season he's having right now?
He's top 10 in receiving yards, top 5 in targets, and we're gonna get him up at the top of the leaderboards for rushing. I will say that is my goal. So every Saturday night, our tight end room, Coach Fleury started doing this when he became our tight ends coach. He wants all the tight ends to get up in front of the room and set a goal. So anywhere from dominate the edges, tight end touchdown, whatever goals. And my goal this week was CMC NFC Player of the Week. And if I actually called that might be the best guess of all time. But I think 200 yards and 2 touchdowns has a shot for it. But that was my goal going into this game because Atlanta has a really good defense. I've gotten in trouble for saying on paper they're really, really good. I got in trouble for that a couple years ago with the Eagles. But on paper they're all these stats. Everyone's really excited about them. But at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and play football regardless. And they have a very athletic, explosive defensive line. But none of them you're not playing Vita Vea. You're not playing a 300-pound guy. They're light and explosive. And so we just ran as much gap scheme as we possibly could and just got them to move. And because of that, when you have Christian McCaffrey getting past the linebackers, he's going to average a lot.
What does it say about this team's culture that so many guys have gone down, have been injured, and yet you're up to a 5-2 record, and these young players, especially today on defense, have just been able to step in and meet the moment?
The defense was so much fun to watch today because they were just flying around. The one play that stood out to me was when Malik came downhill and hit 25 so hard in the ribs that I think it took him out of the game. Those aren't fun hits to take. That's the reason I'm really happy I don't play running back. But I just think the standard that we've set as a 49ers organization, from Fred Warner to Nick Bosa, you go back to 2019 with DeForest Buckner, Eric Armstead, K'Wan Williams, the guys, Richard Sherman, the guys that we had set the standard of how you play defense here. Because if you don't play defense like that, you kind of stand out like a sore thumb. And I just love that the young guys have seen, hey, this is how Nick plays, this is how Fred plays, this is how we're supposed to play. And so you can just carry that and you can learn from that. If you can just play at that same level, and you can't replace Fred Warner. You just can't. You can't replace Nick Bosa. Those are Fred's best linebacker in the NFL. I'll argue, with a wall that Nick Bosa is top 2, not 2. This is what he does in the run game and the pass game. So it's hard to replace guys like that. But if you can just go out there with the same energy and the same effort and fly around and hit the person in the face, then you can have a good defense. Yes, ma'am.
Tell me on Thursday, you have been itching to get back out there and play some football. You got out there today. How did it feel to play? And maybe not a crazy stat line, but then you unlocked the run game pretty much more than it's been all season long. So how rewarding is this win?
I had so much fun playing football. It's Sunday night football in Levi Stadium, so I basically told the team, I was like, if you don't have fun tonight, then you don't have a pulse and you shouldn't be in this locker room. And I definitely felt the pulse tonight from the entire team and just felt the juice the entire way. Offense, defense, special teams. I felt it. How fun is Eddie? Goodness gracious. Just how fun is he? I absolutely love that guy. Great locker guy. But yeah, no. I would love to catch the football once in a while. Hey, when it happens, it happens. When it doesn't, it is what it is. But when you can run the ball 37 plus times, it's a fantastic night. And I think we were moving the heck out of them. We were physical, and we played 49ers football tonight.
In the game plan, did you have a feeling you weren't going to get the ball very much tonight? Or?
You know, personally, I thought with the game plan, based on the walkthrough yesterday, I thought I was going to have 150 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, sorry, fantasy coaches and anybody that bet on me. My bad. Blame Kyle Shanahan, not me. I think the Falcons just did a really good job. We called a bunch of the plays. We called the plays that we thought I was going to be open on, and next thing I know, there's 2 to 3 people standing in the window. So, and then Mac did a great job of not, forcing anything, and then just, hey, let's get it to a check down, let's get it to another guy that's open, and just keep the ball moving. Like I said, I would love to get the football. I love catching the ball, I love hitting people, and I love running in open space. But like I said, if other guys are taking advantage of the opportunity and they're winning their one-on-ones, I'll take it. I mean, I want to win, and I want to just keep winning because that's way more fun than having 100 yards and losing. You've already asked me a question. He hasn't asked yet. I'm nice here, okay?
Different every year, and you've been on the team for a number of years. It seems like this team has maybe a higher level of grit. What do you think? I mean, is this a gritty bunch to you?
You know what? I think, one, Mac Jones is a fantastic quarterback. The way that he stepped up for when Brock has not been in and led this team to a bunch of victories is incredible. He gets hit a ton of times, and he stands right back up and delivers the next pass. The way that he is in and out of the huddle. So that is one reason I think for our success is him. And then I say the other one is, I've said this since OTAs, Robert Saleh is the best free agent signing that we possibly got. The juice that he brings every single day, how smart he is, the way that he game plans, how he sets guys up for success, puts guys in positions to succeed, how he calls the blitzes on the right time. Like, he's just such a good coach. And I'm so happy that we got him back this year because he is a fire for our defense, and he will be a fire for us. So those are my 2 things. I think that is a reason why the team is good. And then, yeah, we're gritty. Anytime Christian McCaffrey touches the football, you have a chance for a 7-yard play. And I know we haven't had a lot of those this year, but like teams have to prepare for that. And teams are, you got to kind of be scared of Christian McCaffrey. And so I think, he had 200 yards and 2 touchdowns. Hey, there's Christian McCaffrey. You're going to get a lot more of that this year.
Last one right here.
Last one. This better be good.
It's been building up.
It better be.
Did you replace Fred in all the speeches today? How many speeches did you give? Because Fred gives like 3 or 4 a game, I think.
How do you know? Are you in the locker? He told you?
Yeah,
He is the aura farming king. I will say that. How about Fred Warner being shown on the scoreboard, and we almost had to go on a silent count because we couldn't hear a play call? How selfish of Fred Warner. Goodness gracious. No, I'm going to give one speech today. It was fantastic. I'm going to divvy that up. I don't want to give the speech every single time. We have a lot of leaders on this team. We have a lot of voices on this team. And, I'll speak when I need to, but we have a lot of voices on this team that need to be heard and that will inspire people. And so, and also, if you needed inspiration to play football on Sunday Night Football in Levi Stadium, I don't really need you on my team. And I didn't see that today. I saw all the guys inspired to go out there and hit a person in the face.
How important was that first one, knowing he's not there, that big one, when the team comes
I didn't even think about it until Vern brought it up on Thursday. And then next thing I know, I'm thinking about it on a Friday night at 2 a.m. I'm like, what am I going to say? And then everything went out the window. I just said whatever I wanted to say when it showed up. So it was pretty easy. Thanks, guys.
George just talked you up there pretty good right before you came out. Give us your thoughts on this win tonight.
It was good. It was a good team win, and I thought the defense played really well. The offensive line did great. We ran the ball well. George had a great impact in the run game. Obviously want to get him some more footballs here, but we'll get that going, and just glad to have George back out there and all those guys, and thought it was just a good old-fashioned win.
What does George's presence on the field do, even if he's not?
I don't know, in the huddle he's just funny and keeps it loose, and then obviously in the run game he's a very powerful blocker, and then in coverage tonight he had pulled a lot of defenders. They had two to three guys on him and stuff, so it's obviously tough when you're the apex guy, but really love playing with him tonight, and we're going to just continue to build our chemistry, and it's just the first time together out there.
How challenging is it to switch centers early in a game?
It's not challenging, really. I mean, honestly, I have a lot of trust in Matt, and because we had gotten a lot of reps, it'd be one thing if you maybe hadn't had a lot of reps with somebody. But it was funny, we were talking this week about, I was like, it's your revenge week this week, because he was in Atlanta. And then sure enough, he's like, on like whatever, early in the game, he's like, all right, here we go. And I was like, revenge week. But he did awesome. He was cool as a cucumber, and just went out there and did his job.
How would you describe McCaffrey's game tonight?
What'd you say?
How would you describe McCaffrey's game tonight?
It was good. He definitely owes me some money. He fell down on those passes at like the 2-yard line, so he wanted to run them in. But no, he did a great job. He's an awesome competitor. Just does his job on every play, and that's what you want. And B-Rob did good too tonight. I thought the 1-2 punch was good, and obviously the offense line did great. You know, having Jake go out's got to be tough, right, early, and they just found the holes, and they just did a great job. I was proud of them.
Mac, you seem to be moving really wonderfully.
Hey.
In the first.
Thank you.
Yeah, like, did you feel like physically a little better?
Yeah.
This week than
Yeah.
in the past?
Yeah, no, I got your question, and you weren't wrong, so hope we can still be friends. But yeah, I definitely felt better. I still feel like there's some limitations, but to be honest, but I'm working through it, and I felt a lot better this week, and just being able to practice meant a lot to my confidence and all that stuff, and that's when you can work on things too and get back in shape and all that. So I just hadn't practiced a lot prior to this week, so I'm glad to be back out there.
What was your view of Christian McCaffrey getting kind of pulled into the end zone by Connor?
Oh yeah, that was awesome. Yeah, I know the first one he did like a crazy front flip thing. That was pretty wild. And I was like, don't hurt yourself. But the other ones, I just saw the guys pushing them, and I don't know, it's tough in those situations. A lot of times the refs, blow the play dead, but you really just, like, all I can do back there is like yell, push, like somebody hit them, so they did a good job like getting everybody in there, and sometimes they blow it dead, sometimes they don't, so it was a good job by Connor.
What do you make of Connor's run after catch ability?
Yeah, that was good. I don't know, he did a pretty good job. I've had that happen to me a few times in my career, weirdly enough, so but he did a good job. He caught it and made some yak.
Sounds like Brock is getting close, and you made no bones about the fact that that this is Brock's team and you're just doing your job and
Yeah.
doing what was asked of you. But you got a pretty good run here, a lot of good games to show who you are and
Yeah.
who you are to your teammates. What has that meant to you?
It's meant a lot. I mean, I think everybody on this team's had my back, and Brock included, and he's just been so fun to work with, Brock, and everybody in the quarterback room. So I've been fortunate to have some wins here, and we have been fortunate to have some wins, and that's important. Every win counts early in the year, and all you're trying to do is get to that number so you can get in the playoffs. But got a long way to go there, and we're just taking it 1 week at a time, and my goal is to be prepared, whatever role I'm in, and just looking forward to the challenge next week.
Just watching you at practice, it's pretty clear
Oh, gosh.
that you like having a good time. And
Sorry, you and then you.
I was just saying, watching you at practice, it's, you look like you're having fun. You're
Yeah.
having a good time. You're fooling around with the receivers. You're having a good time. How important is that you play football and not work it, and that you have that fun?
Yeah, it's very important. I think that's why you play, right? You play to have fun and win, and when you can do both, it's really awesome. And even when you're losing, like, you still have to go out there and enjoy the week of practice, enjoy the process. That shouldn't change each week, So it's really fun that they allow us to do that here, I guess, and the music's on and everyone's dancing, having a good time. But we're also super intentionally focused when we have to do our jobs and play. So there's a balance, but I don't want it to seem like a bad thing, It's a cool thing that everyone has here, and that's what it's all about.
Trent kind of spoke about your toughness, and I mean, we've seen you in these games take hits. It kind of seemed like they're rattling you, maybe just a little bit, but you come right back every time. And I'm just curious to know, like, where does that toughness come from? You told Christina Pink last week that throwing kind of felt like you pulling a scab off. At least that's what she reported.
Yeah, that's
so
probably
being
true.
that you were in that much pain,
Yeah.
being that you were in that much pain, like, what is it that fuels you to say, I'm just not going down. I'm not staying on the sideline. I'm gonna go back out there as long as I can walk and move.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've played with a lot of tough players and watched a lot of tough quarterbacks play in front of me, whether that was in college or whatever, and just learned it. I think it rubs off on the team, and I feel like if you're able to play and you can protect yourself, you should be out there. So that's what it's all about. And those guys are getting hit every play, so they have it much worse than I do, and they did a good job this evening, keeping me upright. And I mean, the only big hit I took was when I had to tackle the guy on the interception. So other than that, I feel good. Like, it is definitely part of my DNA, though.
When you see McCaffrey have a game like he does, dominate like he did tonight, how much does that help your confidence throughout the game?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, just takes we had a plan going in that we wanted to establish the run, and he did a great job, and the offensive line ultimately gets all the praise for it, and as they should, and he did a great job finding the holes. But it does take off. These past couple weeks we've just been throwing a lot, and we've just been trying to find ways to win, whatever